What's going on, guys? JPP Duel here. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. And for today's matchup, we have an Adventures Pranks versus a Drytron with me as the prankster going first. Now, if you guys are wondering why I have the Nemesis flag in my hand, or if you guys are new to my channel and are watching this video for the first time, is because we are playing the post-ban list Prank Kids deck. That means we only have one copy of Crossout in our main deck and only one copy of Meowmoo in our extra deck. So what I wanted to do was make my engine even more consistent or keep going into my combo over and over and over every single turn. For that, I decided to add in different types of engine to my Prank Kids deck, and I ended up building, I believe, close to 4 or 5 different deck types, but the one that I had the most success with was my Invoke Prank Kids and my Nemesis Prank Kids. So the video for today is for the Nemesis Prank Kids, as you guys are seeing with the Nemesis flag in my hand currently, but we are bricked as well. So let's get on with the replay. Now with the Nemesis engine, what ends up happening is that you could consistently keep recycling your Meowmoo over and over and over. So you could go into your combo every single turn as long as the Meowmoo is banished and as long as your Nemesis effect goes through, right? Because you activate the Nemesis effect on your turn, once you're done using your Meowmoo, banishing it on your opponent's turn via the Butler's effect, so that way you could still go into the combo on your turn. Now, what's really good about this is that the Prank Kids deck, the combo itself, the one card combo, you could banish a monster from your hand through your Roxy's. So the banishment is pretty consistent. You even have the banish with your Butler, you have the banish with your access code, so there are multiple ways for you to banish cards. You even have the banish for the Enchantress, so it's not, difficult to put the corridors or the flags on the field. So it's built into your engine. Also, the corridor does go into your Thunder Dragon Colossus, which you do run in your extra deck. So that way, if you draw into your corridor turn 1 and you do your full one card combo, you get the banish with your Roxy's, you banish a monster, or you get the Enchantress banish, that means it's a guaranteed Colossus on the field, so your opponent cannot search any cards. So again, really good engine to add to your Prank Kids. It does, however, take away from the hand trap side. So I do run my Maxi and my Ashes, but I do not run the Artifact Lancia anymore, so keep that in mind. As I said before, I am bricked this turn, so my best board ends up being my Adventure Omni plus the flag on the field and a Forbidden Droplet set down. The flag on the field was because I wanted to put an extra body on the field in case my opponent goes into battle phase with a bunch of monsters and tries to OTK me. As I told you guys before, my opponent was playing Drytron. So once he does the Alpha Zeta combo, what I thought was this guy only had 4 cards in his hand. So if he does not have anything to go past this, and if I negate this Alpha Zeta combo, that means my opponent's turn is pretty much over. I still had my backup of Forbidden Droplet in case he did have something in his hand that would act as a combo extension, so I was still okay at that. I used my Griffin to negate the Alpha Zeta combo, and turns out that that was it. He did not have any other cards in his hand to go into his combo, so he sets down a card, ends his turn. Now again, on my turn, I draw into a Thunder Dragon Fusion, so still no sign of a Prank Kids combo starter card. So I activate my Faithful Adventure, get my Enchantress in my hand, and throw it in the graveyard. Right here, my opponent activates the Lancia. That means we cannot banish the Enchantress in the graveyard, and that means we cannot have the corridor on the field to go into our Colossus to search lock our opponent. That was what my main plan was. Sadly, did not end up working. So the best I could do is that activate the flag again, search for another corridor, and this is the new engine that I added as well. Now this is all courtesy of Mr. Hillian, one of my viewers. He gave me the idea for Hida, so it's in here. We run a copy of Hida and we run a copy of Celine because that is a one card gateway into access code completely. You guys will see what I mean by that. So using the token plus a fire monster, this card only requires a fire monster and some other monster, that's it. So your Prank Kids Pranks token that you put on the field is a fire type. So with that Pranks token plus any other card on the field, you can go into Hida. What Hida does is that it can yoink a fire type card from your opponent's graveyard. And the card you will basically end up yoinking most of the times is the ever dreaded Ash Blossom. It is a fire card, so you activate the Hida. If your opponent has ashed you before in their turn, you activate Hida, yoink the Ash Blossom. Now this would have been a full access code combo. I would have been able to go into access code, hit him for, I believe, 5.3k plus 1.9k in this turn itself because I was going to normal out the corridor. My opponent maxed me, so I could not do all that. So the combo would be you go into Hida, yoink a fire type, basically your opponent's Ash Blossom, and then using these two cards you go into Selene. Selene requires a spellcaster monster, which the Hida is. It is a spellcaster monster. And with the Selene, if you have Effect Veiler or Enchantress in your graveyard, which we did, which is a spellcaster, you could yoink it, put it on the field with the Selene, and that becomes your access code combo. That's how easy it is. Also, you guys will see once my turn is over, once my opponent goes into his turn, the second effect of Hida, which is extremely crucial. So I go into battle phase, whack my opponent for 1.85 and then 1.9 into the face, and we end our turn. We have Forbidden Droplet, so even if he starts his combo, because he had the Alpha and the Zeta in the graveyard, which he does, he searches for the Ben 10 with this. So even if he does that, I'm okay with it because I still have Forbidden Droplet on the field. Now you guys will see I'm not going to preemptively pop my Forbidden Droplet on the normal of the Diviner of the Herald. I did not want to do that because if I pop my Forbidden Droplet on this normal of Diviner, he could use these two cards and could go into Zeus. So I was thinking I want to save my Forbidden Droplet till he uses these two cards up so I know what combo line he wants to go into. And once the Diviner activation goes through, he searches for the Natasha with it off of the Herald and goes into Mu Beta Fafnir. So as soon as I see the Mu Beta Fafnir, obviously we are going to be using the Forbidden Droplet. And I don't know if you guys saw what two cards I sent to the graveyard for the Forbidden Droplet activation. I sent the Ash Blossom that I yoinked from my opponent, and I sent a Thunder Dragon Fusion from my hand to the graveyard. I'm doing this in case I do not draw into a combo starter card in my next turn. This card will serve as our combo starter searcher. We would banish this, search for our fancies, which would allow us to go into our combo. That's the reason why I'm sending it to the graveyard right now. And I'm negating the Herald plus the Mu Beta Fafnir. So my Forbidden Droplet resolves. We negate those two cards on the field. My opponent still has something he could have gone into. So he activates the Meteonis Drytron, goes into Natasha. Natasha is going to activate, targeting itself to heal my opponent for half its attack points. Then he goes into Anaconda and activates Natasha from the graveyard. He's going to banish one Cyber Angel from the graveyard, and then he yoinks the Nemesis Corridor. I don't know what was going on through this guy's head, or if he did not read this card's effect. But so far we have not shown our opponent we're playing Prank Kids. So he could be assuming we could be playing some kind of rogue deck. So the card he goes for is the one with the higher attack, which is my Corridor. If he had went for the Hida, that would have been pretty problematic for us. So again, pretty lucky for us. He yoinks the Corridor, activates the Protoplant, goes in DPE, pretty standard stuff. That's okay with us. Natasha activates, gaining him 1.25 life points from the DPE. Now he goes into battle phase and kills off my Hida, which triggers the Hida from the graveyard. This is the reason why we run Hida. If Hida is killed off through battle or through opponent's card effect, it says right here, if this link summon card is destroyed by battle or is destroyed by your opponent's card effects while it's in your owner's monster zone, you can add one fire monster with 1500 less defense from your deck to your hand. Now, the Nemesis flag is a card with 1500 less defense, so you could use the Hida to add the flag to your hand. But since I did not have a combo starter card, you could add a copy of Lampseized with the Heda. So it basically acts as a semi-combo starter searcher card, whereas it has conditions for its activation. So we successfully get the combo starter card in our hand through the Heda. Then he goes into DPE, activates DPE, pops my Fateful Adventure. We don't care about all of that. Now over here, I actually top deck a card that allows me to push past my opponent's board, because we know for a fact in standby phase, DPE is going to come back on the field. And if I commit to my normal summon at this point, he's just going to activate DPE and pop my normal summon. That means we cannot go into our combo. But we have another dilemma right here. We have Dark Ruler. If we activate Dark Ruler, that means our opponent takes no damage, period. That means no effect damage, no direct damage, no battle damage, nothing. That means if we try to activate Lamses from the graveyard, he will not be taking the 500 burn. That means we cannot put a monster on the field. So, we had a way to play around that. As I told you guys before, we had the Thunder Dragon Fusion in the graveyard. So first of all, I activate the Enchantress, banish it to get a Ripe from my graveyard into my hand. Then we will be activating the Thunder Dragon Fusion to get our copy of Fancies into our hand. So we're going to search for our Fancies. This way, the Dark Ruler no more does not affect us. We could go into our combo completely. So we start to go into our combo. I'm going to link climb all the way to our Bow Wow, I believe. Excuse me, I'm going to be up till my Doodle-Doo. And what I'll end up doing is that I saw that I could kill my opponent this turn itself. Excuse me, we cannot kill him this turn. Sorry. I Dark Ruler no more him, so we cannot kill him this turn. But we could still end up killing all the cards on the field with our access code. That way, like, he is going to have the card draw next turn, sure, but if we put a Colossus on the field, that means he cannot search for cards anymore afterwards. So that was my whole combo line, whole thought process I had to go into. So we go into Unicorn. Unicorn will bounce the DPE, so DPE is not going to be coming back on the field whatsoever. Seeing this, my opponent just outright scoops. Now, as I told you guys, I could not have killed my opponent that turn itself, but I could have put my access code, popped my opponent's card locked him, and then gone into my Predator Plant to put Butler on the field as well. So if he draws into something, we could have popped this field twice afterwards. That's going to be the end of this game, guys. If you guys do enjoy this kind of videos, please consider hitting the like button, subbing to my channel for more daily prank video uploads, and if you guys are interested in the live version of all of this, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/jpbduel. Link along with my schedule and a link to my Discord will be in the video description itself for you guys to check out. This is JPBDuel signing off for today. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace!